The Samsung Galaxy Buds were a little bit of a mixed bag for me. While I liked that they were a lot more affordable than their 1,000 ringgit rivals over at Apple and Sony, they also didn't sound nearly as good. In fact, one of my main issues with the Buds was that they sounded a little bit muddy to me. That and the below average battery life. So when I saw the leaked specs of the Galaxy Buds Plus, safe to say that I was pretty excited. And after spending like a week with them in my ears, well, I have some thoughts. Let's kick this off with a look at what makes these headphones the Buds Plus. Like, what did Samsung do to these new headphones to justify the Plus moniker? Well, in short, they addressed two of my biggest complaints with the old Buds, which were sound quality and battery life, and we'll start with the former. While the original Galaxy Buds always sounded a little muddy and underwhelming to me, these new Buds Plus have a very different sound signature. This comes from the fact that the Buds Plus now features a two-way dynamic speaker system built into each earbud. Somehow, Samsung managed to cram a tweeter and a woofer setup with a boosted driver into these headphones, which are identical in size. Samsung claims that you can get powerful bass and crisp high notes with this new setup, and I can at least vouch for one of those two things. The new Buds Plus certainly sound crisper and brighter than the regular Buds. If the old ones felt a little uncertain, these have pretty much eradicated all of that. However, depending on the music and volume that you listen at, these headphones can sound harsh. In fact, quite a few of my colleagues here at Sir Chin Chow actually prefer the sound of the original Buds because of this. I don't agree, of course, because I prefer the Buds Plus, but that's the beauty of headphones, right? But the one thing we all agreed on was that the Galaxy Buds Plus definitely left a lot to be desired in the low end. In fact, I found the bass to be the weakest characteristic of these headphones' sound. It's not nearly as warm, nor do they sound as full-bodied as the Sony WF-1000X Mark IIIs. Wow, it sounds like I'm describing wine or something bougie like that. This is what reviewing headphones has done to me. Anyway, I think you get the point, okay? The point is that I think the Galaxy Buds Plus definitely sound better than the original Galaxy Buds. It's just that I don't think that they sound as good as my personal favorites, the Sony WF-1000X Mark IIIs. Now, I'm not an audiophile. I listen to music on Spotify, but I do know what I like, and what I do know is that while I like this a lot more than I like this, I definitely don't like them as much as I like this. Now though, it's time to talk about my other favorite thing about the Galaxy Buds Plus, and that's its awesome battery life. While the regular Buds topped out at like 7 hours on a single charge, these Buds Plus have a stunning battery life of 11 hours continuously on a single charge. That's better out-of-case battery life than all but one pair of TWS headphones that I have ever tested. The only one that has better on-paper battery life are these, the Creative Lab Outlier Golds. But this review is coming a little later. While I wasn't able to actually count the number of hours these could actually last in real-life situations, let me just say that I simply could not kill it in a single day. Even when I refused to put them back in the box and when I wasn't using them, these headphones still managed to last all day until I went to bed at night. And I have headphones in my ears for at least 8 hours a day every weekday. I'm super impressed, and I love that Samsung has managed to almost double the battery life, add a new two-way dynamic speaker, and yet not change the size of the Buds Plus. The only downside is that the case still only holds one extra charge, but now that the charge is 11 hours, a combined playback time of 22 hours is still okay. Just below average, but good enough to last the weekend without needing a charge. Speaking of charging, the Galaxy Buds Plus case also retains wireless charging and charging via USB-C, which is great. Plus, there's a new fast charging tech that can give you an hour's playback with just a 3-minute charge. I never really needed to use this quick charging because, like I said, these last for a long time outside of the case. While those were the two biggest updates that Samsung has made to their new headphones, it also feels like they've done a bunch of little tweaks to improve the overall experience. And you know me, I love my little tweaks. The little tweak that I'm probably most happy about is the Bluetooth connection with these new Buds Plus. While I almost always had problems with my regular buds, the Plus has given me no such issues. Range is still about what you can expect from a Bluetooth device, and it doesn't really penetrate walls that well, but when you have your playback device with you, they don't randomly drop connection or suddenly go out of sync like my buds did. One small caveat though, at this point I'm still not sure if my Galaxy Buds was like just a lemon unit, but the fact that these Buds Plus don't show any of these problems with Bluetooth connection is very encouraging. My theory was that it was always like a QC problem because out of like the 5 or so buds that we have in our office, only about half of them have this issue. Samsung also added a shortcut to Spotify that you can remap to the Galaxy Buds Touch and Hold command. I mean, it's convenient when you need it, but you also never have to use it if you for some reason hate Spotify. Speaking of the touch controls, I have to say that the Galaxy Buds Plus have a much more intuitive and reliable interface than my Sony WF-1000X Mark IIIs. The controls are still about the same, where you can tap, double tap, triple tap and hold, but the feedback and accuracy is much better. One example is that if you double or triple tap the buds, the headphones will play either 2 or 3 beeps in quick succession to let you know, which control you've inputted. And this is unlike Sony's, which play a single beep for every single command you're doing, so you have no way of knowing immediately if you have done something wrong or not. Again, it's a little thing, but it makes a difference, so great job! But now we have to talk about the elephant in the room. Why do these headphones not have active noise cancellation? I'll admit we were a bit perplexed too. I mean, after the direction that Apple was going with the AirPods Pro and like what Sony showed off that you could have such good ANC in such friggin' tiny headphones, it seemed like the most obvious logical step for Samsung to take. But they didn't. Now, I know a lot of like staunch Galaxy Buds fans will be telling me like, ooh, but if you get a good fit, you don't even need ANC. Well, to those people, all I have to say is that you have every right to be wrong. But I have to agree that the Galaxy Buds Plus has a fantastic fit. For buds that look this big, they fit really well and sit really comfortably in my ear. And that doesn't really happen very often because I have like uneven, weird ears. And I will also agree that by fitting so well, it really gives you a great seal and some really good passive noise cancellation. But a great seal doesn't make up for a lack of ANC. Don't get me wrong though, it's not like it's like a massive difference, but that little bit extra that ANC is able to bring to the table is something you can definitely hear. But besides that minor criticism, I really don't have much else to fault the Galaxy Buds Plus for. Maybe one other small issue is that the autoplay pause when you remove your headphones from your ears could be a little bit snappier, but that's honestly such a small problem that I wouldn't even call it a problem. Oh, and like the ambient sound pass-through that the Galaxy Buds Plus have doesn't sound quite as realistic as the Sony's or the AirPods Pro, but when it comes to that, I have to ask myself, like, does this do what it needs to do? Yeah, I can hear people perfectly fine with it, so I guess that makes it okay.
Oh, and one thing I completely forgot to test out was the microphone quality. Samsung says that they've improved it, so I mean, it should sound pretty good. Well, all the audio you're listening to here right now is straight from the Galaxy Buds Plus. And this is what the original Galaxy Buds sound like. Keep in mind that this is done to like simulate a call the same way that I did in my last comparison video, so you can go check that out if you want to see how we did it. But it should come pretty close to what you can expect from like the audio quality for a regular call.
I guess at this point there's really only one question left to answer, and that's if you should pick these up. For 599 ringgit, if you're deciding between these and the regular Galaxy Buds, I would definitely pay the 100 ringgit difference for the Galaxy Buds Plus. It's just completely worth the upgrade. But if you start comparing it with the Sony WF-1000X Mark IIIs, it gets a little bit tricky. On paper, the Galaxy Buds should have a big edge in the price department because it's nearly half of the Sony's recommended retail price of 949 ringgit. But if you search for the Sonys online, you'll be able to see that these headphones can be yours for under 650 ringgit. So if you can get the Sonys for like 650 or 620 ringgit, I would definitely recommend that you get that instead. I think they sound way better and are built better and have better total battery life with the case, and they also have ANC. Unless you really need like a smaller case, wireless charging and a Samsung badge, it's really hard for me to see why you'd pick the Galaxy Buds Plus. So yeah, I have to commend Samsung on their new headphones. Like, I think that they did a good job by listening to feedback and really improving where I think they needed to be improved on. But you know, sometimes your competitors just don't play fair. And I mean, when that happens, then that just sucks lah, right? But that's what I think. If you think I'm wrong, make sure to leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you think like the Galaxy Buds Plus, no, they're much better, I want to see a 35 mark essay in that comment section. But in the meantime, if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the notification bell icon so that you'll be informed whenever we post a brand new video. We are also on Facebook, so you can follow us there, but our home will always be at searchandchow.com. Until next time, I'm Rory and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!